Hello everyone, welcome back to the March Guy, where I talk about anything I want to. First of all, I want to thank my dad for this oversized Gap beach t-shirt. Since I left all my clothes in my apartment, most of the clothes I wear in my videos are from my dad. So thank you for the sponsorship. Today we're going to be drinking Lipton tea in an orange mug, and I hope you grab yours as well because I'll be telling about how my first year in ATENEO, the Davao University, was like. So what is college, by the way? College, as we all know, no, that's not me, it's a part of school. If you guys don't know, I'm a second year, 19-year-old accountancy student, unfortunately, fighting for my spot in the course. And don't get me wrong, I really do love accountancy. Just that sometimes there are problems in accountancy that are out of this world. But now I am stuck in quarantine in another part of the house, as you can see on the background. But first of all, let me talk about the expectations I had before I went to college. So before going to college, my parents had already warned me about the prevalence of fraternities and even warned me because of my emotional attachment issues, which by the way is kind of true. They only feared that I would be gullible enough to trust people. Unfortunately, I easily trust people. I've had so many trust issues back in the past, but let's not talk of that, okay? But I still kept that on mind when I first entered the school, regardless of any university. And I also expected to have a lot of savage professors, as they say, and warned us about. And the question that I get from a lot of people is, can you live alone? How will you eat your food? Who's gonna wash your clothes? I had it all figured out. But let me tell you the realities of my college experience. Now, it was indeed true that it was my first time living alone, but at the same time, it made me feel excited and scared. And fun fact, I even brought my hamster's debit and credit with me in the apartment, but unfortunately, 2 months after, they died. The day before class, my parents escorted me into my apartment, and the moment they closed the door, I felt that rush of excitement and fear at the same time. On the same night, my friends invited me to have dinner at a public market. And to be honest, I was so scared that I rejected their invitation. And so instead, I just cracked open some 555 sardines and had dinner. That was my first night living alone. Though it felt isolating and lonely, there's this feeling of excitement and rush that you have your whole life ahead of you. And you can't just wait what happens next. And yeah, a lot did happen. On the first week of class, I was actually very terrified. It was my first time transferring into a school because I have studied in the same school for 14 years. My friends know this. So on the first day of class, I had this philosophy to never approach anyone else unless they approach me first. I want to feel that I'm approachable or friendly. But as you may have guessed, my face is not particularly that friendly. 5 hours after my first class, I then decided to approach some of my classmates and make friends. So the plan did not work out. And the only friends I had from your first week of class was actually the people who I graduated with back in my hometown. Unfortunately, they had different courses, or if we had the same courses, they were different sections. Let me tell you some experiences I had during my first year of college. During my first year, it was actually my first time to go into a condo. And the first time I went to a condo, I was like, wow. Like that. And yeah, it was, how do you say that in English? But in Tagalog, it's manol. Or in Bisaya, I don't know. Seeing the city below you and having that sense of power. And the next 4 or 5 months, I basically spent a lot of nights there. And it was also my first time to commute on jeeps. It is a fun experience. Actually, it was because of my friends that I learned how to ride jeepneys. You know, in college, budgeting is the most important thing that students have to learn. And with a tight budget, I have to find ways to maximize my budget every week. In college, it's actually very normal to not eat 3 times a day. I've also experienced going home very late. And by late, I mean almost dawn. I know it's very risky, especially in a country where criminal rates are constantly increasing. So let me tell you a story time, which is a story. When my friend was eating dinner at McDonald's, she actually heard another person backstab me from another school. And the funny thing is, I don't even know that person. Because we sometimes think that college is about escaping from our haters. But unfortunately, some people still like to spread bad news about you. And that's not a problem. And if people don't like you, let them be and you do you. You know what haters have, according to Kelly Stamps? That is time and opinion. And I don't have time for people like that. And I think one of the best realizations I had during college was a more appreciation of humanity, of myself and other people. Although I admit that I thought that everyone would understand me, I've come to the realization that life is not like that. So since it's college and it's a melting pot of so many people from different places and from different cultures, I think that's important that we become adaptable and emotionally and socially aware of how we should act as students. But I think what I've come to realize the most is that people will hate you for not even doing anything, and that's normal. I used to give these things such a big deal, but then I've come to realize because of COVID and a quarantine experience that I should stop giving any damn about people and what they want to say about me. Because these are things that I cannot control. College seems like high school already, and that's the tea. And despite those experiences, I think those led me to find my new, real, and true friends. And I think that's when I realized that the perfect friendship is not about how similar people are, but it's actually about how people contrast one another. My friends right now are the complete opposites of me. And I think that's what makes the perfect combination of a friendship. Well, unfortunately, I won't be able to apply the lessons I've learned last year into this year since everything is now online. So I guess I'm gonna have to use these lessons next year. Hopefully, I become a better version of myself than I was during my first year. Another lesson. In college, people or a lot of organizations will try to recruit you to be part of their organizations. Now the thing is, nothing's wrong about joining organizations as long as you love what you do. And I think that it's important that you find what you truly love, surrounded by the people who love you and don't judge you for your opinions, and just actually enjoy the organization or club itself. If you're happy, then stay. But if you're not happy and not satisfied, then leave. The truth is that this year I decided to be organizationless and try to focus on myself more. You must never be afraid to try anything out in college. Remember that it doesn't mean that everyone is doing it, then you should do as well. You don't have to go with the flow with anyone except for yourself. I mean, my first year of college was about trying different things. I've tried covering a rally for a news article. I've tried joining a fashion show, kind of embarrassing. And I've also tried joining quiz bees, which I failed miserably. Also, in college I had my first sleepover in another house, which is, by the way, very legit. I've asked permission from my parents and they have all approved. With regards to the grades, ultimately I've come to realize that there are so many varying professors and they all have different ways of giving you grades. We realize that aside from attaining Latin honors or being part of the dean's list or president's list, it's important that we've actually learned something from that class. I've also tried directing a short film for the course for the college intramurals, which was actually quite pressuring, by the way. And I've also learned to see the beauty of failures. It's because of these failures that I was able to learn so much from these teachers, and you can actually take advantage of these failures and make them your motivation. Eventually, at the end of the day, all you have is yourself in college. When you're sick, take care of yourself. No one will take care of you. So overall, I think that my first year of college was actually very fun. In truth, I'm a good boy, and my friends know that, right? Say yes. Anyway, let me know in the comment section your college experiences for your first year, especially with my batch 2020, or is it 2019? And let's see if there's still something out there that I'm missing out from my college experiences. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel if you want to. And also, please tell me what video I should do next. For the meantime, I will see you on the next video.